dip though. Niggas in crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist smoke, you stay up the dip though. You niggas stay up and get low, heard you way up in Frisco. You see what they make so. Every player gets snipped now. At the gay up in Cisco. I take the day off and play up in pistols, causing chaos and play up calypso. I paused in kitchens and caused addictions. I paused prescriptions and caused inflictions. Still busy playing in stores and bricks and on the dark web. You gotta pause every door's cause encryption. Tesla engines, pause the pistons. I seen every floor I leave store and listing. This for that action, they sponsor the Bronson. They was hooked on that shit like Johnson and Johnson. That freeway, Ricky Ross, straight out of Compton, straight out of Bumpton. Red on blue, violence in the land. The projection of the will, the perfection of the kill, the reflection of the pills. I'm a frontline soldier, I'm no doja. These crystals not from Vegas and crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist smoke, you stay up and dip low. You niggas stay up and get low, heard you way up in Frisco. If you say what the heck sounds, every player gets lips now. Acting gay up in Cisco. I take the day off and play up in pistols, causing chaos and play up calypso. Hickory dickory down. Hit a lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot. Lick off a shot. Heavy in the pedal, we slip off a knot. Heavy in the ghetto, they crib walk a lot. Trip walk the crypto, lift off the stocks. Drips off the crystal and pots. Disco rocks in the blocks on my chain from the crystal shop. In the light there, lift off the rock. Toe from the right chain on my block. White paint on my socks. White paint on my socks. Hickory dickory dock. Hit the lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot. Lick off a shot, we lick off a shot. Niggas in crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist smoke, you stay up the dip low. You niggas stay up and get low, heard you way up in Frisco. If you say what the heck sounds, every player gets lips now. Acting gay up in Cisco. I take the day off and play up in pistols, causing chaos and play up calypso.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, family. There you have it. That's Pay Us in Crypto off of that Red Summer Deluxe. All right. Right around the corner. It could be dropping any minute. You never know. Check it out, y'all. Before we begin, let me start with the commercial, of course. Quick announcements. On Thursday, May 27th, in the hours of 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a workshop, part 2 of the Evolution May Be Digitized. All right. This one is going to be featuring, it's going to be hosted by Red Pill, and it's going to feature special guests. We're going to have our good brothers from the biggest crypto play ever in the building. Give it up. We also will be introducing a new teacher to the platform, my good brother HAFIZ. All right, HAFIZ Crypto. He will be teaching some information. He will also be joining us tonight as a special guest. All right, I'll be giving you a taste of the information that we'll be dealing with in the workshop tonight when I bring on my special guests in a little while. Okay, so the Evolution Will Be Digitized workshop, May 27th. We'll be dealing with dApps, all right, and DAOs. We'll be dealing with non-fungible tokens, otherwise known as NFTs, virtual and augmented reality, blockchain and cryptocurrency, decentralization and DeFi, and so much more. All right, I could get into all of the things that we're going to be dealing with, but I'm not going to do it at the moment. We're going to be getting into privacy coins, wallets, exchanges, the blockchains, the metaverse. You name it, we're going to be going over it. Even if you were in the first class, I recommend showing up to this class. This is going to be a 102. This won't be regurgitated information. It won't be something that we taught last month. This will be new information. So if you were in the first class, you already know how we gave it up. So make sure you show up to this one and get the information, because my inbox stays flooded with people who are currently in this, in this digital economic space. It's not just the metaverse. They're in a whole new realm, because different people are into different things. Some people are investing, some people are day trading, some people are collecting NFTs as assets, some people are doing there's people doing multiple things. So I get hit up a lot, and as a result of that, I'm going to give the people what they ask for, and that's more information, that's more better understanding, that's raw, that's them nuggets that they need in order to turn that coal into gold, or that coal into a diamond. I'm talking about. So yeah, let's do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building before we even begin this conversation tonight. First and foremost, welcome to another episode of Melanin Monday. All right, we're on episode 157. All right, salute to all of the family in the building. Peace and love to everybody that's joining us tonight. This is a late show, but the tarmac was kind of crowded. You know what I mean? There was a lot of planes taking off tonight. So, one of the things that I do is I just sit back. I'm a student in class. I'm taking notes and whatnot. And then we do what we gotta do. You know what I mean? All right. So yeah, the Geechee is in the building. Shout out to all of the fam from the Geechee. All right. Michigan is in the building. Shout out to the Michigan family. Greensboro, all right, all day. You know what I'm talking about? NC is always in the building. South Africa in the building. Philly in the building. Kentucky, I see you, Kentucky. All right, yeah, we got the Kentucky Flyer too. Let me throw that up. Inglewood is in the building. Indiana's in the building. All right, okay, happy birthday, happy born day. Oakland is in the building. Houston is up in this thing. H Town was popping. Greenville, SC, Grenada, Inglewood. Shout out to Inglewood. I always say on my show how much I love Inglewood. The aesthetics of Inglewood is like dope, very dope. At least the part that I saw. You know what I mean? Wilmington is up in this thing. Shout out to Wilmington, the Bahamas. Yeah, what's popping with the Bahamas? Norfolk, Coney Island, Orlando, Cali is up in this thing. Okay, all right. Shout out to all of the family out there. I see y'all tapped in. I thought this was gonna be a strictly West Coast show because of the time that it is, but then I have to come to the realization, for night owls such as myself, there's no such thing as time. Like there's never time when mine is not up. You know what I'm talking about? You know. So I don't really, the concept of time is very subjective in my mind. You know what I mean? Especially when you go to places like the West Coast, and you'll be somewhere where it's 6 o'clock and it's a whole different type of feeling. But then in New York it's 9 o'clock. And then in London it's a whole nother day and shit like that. So, you know. Okay, I see you. Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That's less city like, right? I'm assuming Rocky Mount, you know. We time travel. We damn sure do. That is a fact. We time travel like a mother. Shoot. We travel through music. We travel through music, you know. We travel through different portals, you know. Red October. It's Tuesday. All the markets are still open. Factory. Factory. Fort Lauderdale was popping. Oh, it's very country. Okay. I mean, that could be a good thing, right? What up, Chicago? What's good with you? Wilmington, NC. What's really good though? All right. Was really good. We need to just open a headquarters in North Carolina and just get it over with because it's really too many of y'all. And it's not just my show either. I peep that when I listen to other shows and I hear North Carolina, South Carolina's always in the building. I'm like, damn, it's so many of y'all. Like what y'all do y'all get together? Do y'all hang out? Y'all got a Tinder or something? You know what I mean? Like, is there a Facebook group for all of the Carolina people? This, third eye open and shit, you know? Not like Brooklyn at all. Let me hip you to something. Nothing is like Brooklyn. Okay? I've been all around the world and nah yeah yeah yeah. Nothing is like Brooklyn. And it's hard to even explain that because I would make it sound like Brooklyn is this magical place. And it is for some, but it's hard to explain. It's not a geographical thing per se. It's more of an energy type of thing. But Brooklyn is just Brooklyn. North Carolina is known for being into knowledge, King. Is that right? I mean, it's apparent at this point. Oh, Kwame is in North Carolina. Is he? I thought he was in South Carolina. He's in North Carolina. You in the hood country? Yeah, that could be interesting to be in the hood country. You in the hood backwoods. Like that could be dangerous and adventurous at the same damn time. Black Rainey's Black Bottom. Oh, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I mean, it could be, depending on what you into. You know, sometimes they say if you come from certain parts of New York, there's no way that you could go on this planet that'll have you, that will shake you in your boots or have you off of your square. If you make it out of New York, you can make it anywhere. You dig? But yeah, I think that yeah, I know Higichi. I know the Higichi. That's why I was thinking he was in SC because of his Geechee. I know the Higichi. You know what I mean? They had 3 shootouts since yeah, that's crazy. They probably had 3 shootouts in Brooklyn too, though. You know, just make sure that you know what I mean. I don't even know what to tell you in the midst of being around shootouts. What do you say? What do you say? Make sure that you have your fucking lead curtains up. Like, what do you tell a person? Yo, make sure you got your Teflon couch by the window. Like, what can you tell a person? These little niggas got fucking Russian military weaponry. Yo, what you talking about? They're not having two. They're not having shootouts with 2 5s, nigga. Oh, June 26th is the vegan. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. What block is the gang war in Harlem going on in? Because I was out there the other night. I'm glad. I probably walked right through some shit. You know? Yeah. So, one of the things that was pointed out today, and I heard it in passing, but when I watched the video with Blue Pill, he was on Black Magic earlier. Shout out to Blue Pill, shout out to Black Magic, Brother Rich. Shout out to Urban X. Shout out to everybody that's putting content out. All of you are appreciated. You're all needed. When there's days when I don't want to do any content, I have to turn and listen and watch. So for the people that are out there providing, healthy content, informative content, high vibrational content, fact filled content, alkaline type of content, and something that's not super duper acidic and whatnot, and not information that's chatty patty like shit that Charlemagne and all of them put out. Not beta heavy and agenda based, rhetoric. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about those people, not butter biscuits, not people that's out here buck dancing, you know, no, not that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not vibrating on that frequency. I'm giving a shout out to the very few, you know what I mean? There's a handful and they out there and they putting out good content. Vicky Dillard, you know what I'm talking about? I like what she does. The brother Kwame and all of his live streams or his uploads and whatnot, when he's speaking truth to power, I respect what he's saying. When I get an opportunity to check out our good brother Lord Jamal, I like what he's saying. You know what I'm talking about? I like what he's saying. So there's a few, you know, there's a few. It ain't too many, but there's a few. So if whoever's out there putting out good content, you know, keep doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Keep doing it. Real recognize real. Where's the cancel culture for Charlemagne? I think they're coming for him. If you they on his neck. That's why he apologized and gave himself donkey of the day today. Because, you take your L and you don't, you know what I mean? You take your L, you lick your wounds, and you try to, keep it moving and whatnot, rather than stand there, and like he said, when his spirit is telling him he's wrong, you don't go to war knowing that you're wrong, because it's harder to win that war. You understand? It's harder to win that war. So he weighed out his options and said to himself, I fall on my sword right now. I'll basically, you know, I'll basically expose myself, because if I stick around too long, you know, he don't know who else is gonna hop on the bandwagon, or he don't know what somebody might reach out to homeboy and give him in terms of dirt, if he decides that he wants to have a shootout or a public mandingo wrestling contest with the brother Kwame, right? So he was like, "Shit, I'm gonna bow down. I'm gonna let this nigga have my head." Pause. And I'm gonna play my mental health angle and some other shit, and hope you niggas don't bring up the aspect of me date raping a juvenile. But I don't think enough people want to cancel Charlemagne. His personality is that he's already, the more you hate him, it actually works in his favor based off of the way that he set his body up. You know, so it's gonna take a little bit more for the culture to cancel Charlemagne. You feel me? It's gonna take a little bit more than that. So yeah, shout out to that brother. You know what I mean? And for everybody that's out there speaking their truths, just shout out to you. Just because, you know what I mean. Get your platform, get your word out there and whatnot, and see what the people say. You said Charlemagne's battle is with the ancestors. He should change the name, you know, because Charlemagne in the history of melanin people, that's not a good name. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't a person that helped our cause. You know, somebody said that I'm baked. I ain't baked. I'm chilling. I'm tired though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's kind of late where I'm at. It's been a very long day. You know, somebody said that name is dirt. Well, his name ain't that much dirt. Charlemagne's name, believe me, you know, it holds clout in the hearts and minds of, I think the demographics that's the most important is the youth. And I think in their hearts and minds, he could do no wrong in a sense. Like I don't think that they are ready to counsel him the way that some of the people who are sensible, who could see through a lot of the bullshit and see too many contradictions, which may be some of the older demographics. But Charlemagne and the appeal of the Breakfast Club, I feel, is really aimed and targeted at the teenagers. And, my son he's not into him. But if anybody's out there who has younger brothers and sisters or siblings or even children and whatnot is into Charlemagne, you let me know how they feel about him, you know? And it's like I said before in my critique of the Breakfast Club, from what I've saw taking place. And the question that I ask people, if a teacher like a Umar or somebody with a conscious message comes on the Breakfast Club, who gets the most benefit out of that meeting? Is it the teacher who came on the platform, who's now exposed to a larger demographics, which would be the Breakfast Club audience? Or is it the Breakfast Club being exposed to the conscious audience that that teacher brings with them, right? That's my thing. Like at the end of the day, somebody is going to benefit more from the actual encounter. There's going to be someone who benefits more out of that encounter when they go on Vlad TV. Who benefits more? Is it Vlad TV benefiting more? Or is it one of these rappers? I'm not talking about the rappers. I'm talking more about the conscious people who have an audience who probably never heard of Vlad or the Breakfast Club before, or would never watch it. And then when one of these conscious teachers, one of these scholars get on the show, you know what I mean? Now their audience and their demographics, they're somewhat, it's almost like Charlemagne and them get legitimized. It's almost like they get certified. Like, yo, I'm gonna still watch these shows. Like, I'm gonna make sure that I subscribe and I'm gonna be tapped into the Breakfast Club because shoot, they had Wesley Muhammad on there. They must be on the right path, you know. And then you have to wait like 2 years for somebody else to come on that's matching that energy. Yeah, Charlemagne was the first Christian ruler. you know. So the audience win by way of the Breakfast Club, right? Exactly. They had Queen of Four. That's yeah, yeah. Like I said, to let me get this straight. To be on the Breakfast Club and to have a platform, you are going to expand your platform. You are going to be exposed to a demographics of our people who actually need to know about who you are. Let's be clear, right? A conscious person going on the Breakfast Club and being exposed to black people, because that's a syndicated show, and being exposed to black people through that or being exposed to the people through that medium, that's impactful. You know what I mean? That's a commercial. That's something that you really can't even pay for based off of the exposure aspect, or where how far it can take you, and the actual, the value that's attached to that. You could turn that into something. You feel me? Do you think the masses changed after? No, look, there's no teacher that's gonna get up there that's gonna change the masses. Let's be clear. Let me make this clear forever so we don't have to make any mistakes, right? This concept of you know, people just automatically changing after hearing the word of the Messiah and whatnot. I particularly, I don't subscribe to that in the detail that there's one Messiah. I subscribe to the fact that there's multiple Messiahs, there's messianic forces, and it talks through these niggas, right? It talks through the people and whatnot. and it reverberates. So it shows up in a lot of our people. It's not just one person. So, I don't think one person is going to change everything by just opening up their mouth. Like, the masses are not going to just change off of one video, because the masses have been programmed for how many years that they've been alive. That's the amount of programming that they've been receiving almost nonstop. There's not a day where the programming has not taken full. The program is up by the time you get up. The program is running, right? By the time your ass wake up, the program is running. So if you're 18 years old, you was being programmed for 18 years. If you're 80 years old, you've been programmed for 80 years. They didn't take time off of programming you. You've been constantly you've been constantly being programmed. Somebody said, "Would I ever be a guest on the Breakfast Club?" I wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't say no, right? Let's say that my mom's was like, "Yo, Red, I'm only going on there if you come with me." Then I'd be like, "You know what? If we have something that, that we're doing and we want the people to know about, then we could go in there." You know what I'm saying? We probably could go in there. If me and my brother was doing something, we probably would go in there. But once again, I would have to weigh out all the possibilities. Am I gonna benefit by doing something like this? What does me going on the Breakfast Club, what is that gonna do for my brand? What is that gonna do for my message? What is that gonna do for legitimizing Charlemagne and Envy? Because if we don't have some type of disagreement, or if we don't have some type of objectivity towards each other, then I'm legitimizing him and his brand, him and his platform. He bought a helium miner. Okay, that's fire. But I will go to light fire to the whole agenda that I feel that they promote. I will go to light fire to a lot of that woke, hypocrisy and whatnot. I would light a fire to woke capitalism. I would bring out, you know, I would bring the information out the same way that I've done, in all my other interviews. You know what I mean? I'll come with my facts, you know. I think they like bringing certain guests on because those guests don't challenge them personally. They always shooting at the proverbial they. Though they, you could take shots at they because they is so ambiguous. You know what I mean? They holding us down. They holding us back. You know what I mean? They, you know how big they is when you swinging at they. You'll never hit they, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You'll never hit they. You'll never hit they. You'll never be able to strike they. They is just whoever you want it to be. So it's always they. Everybody gets on the show and they talk about they. The and they. The government, the system, you know what I mean? The agenda, the the people. Like, who are you talking about specifically? Like, who are we dealing with? Who are we addressing? You know what I mean? Who are we specifically speaking of? Think about it. There's not too many people who get on these shows and they get directly at someone's neck. I'm talking about their whole name, their government, everything, speaking specifically to who the op is. No, they'll throw some shit that's generalized out there, and that's no. I'm not trying to get at anybody. You know, I'm just making an observation. You know what I mean? I'm making an observation that's what I've noticed. Like, it's just a lot of they niggas is getting that they. You know what I mean? They bringing it to they's foot to they's neck. Brought it right to they's foot doorstep. You know what I mean? But it's nothing really specific. Like, we don't. We don't come out of an interview with a name to Google, like, let me find this nigga. Who is he or her or them? Where are they? You know what I mean? Nobody really gives no one up. They just talk about the white man or these organizations, the KKK and the Klan and the Illuminati. Which one of the Illuminati? The big homie nigga? Is it the capo? Is it the captain? Is it the lieutenant of the Illuminati? Give me a name, bro. You know what I'm talking about? An occupation. Like, let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down. Because I could get on the radio and talk about they all fucking day. You know what I'm talking about? We could have the they Olympics. I got 99 problems, right? But a bitch ain't one. So I could come up with 99 reasons why they is holding me back. I could come up with 99 reasons why they have impeded my growth and development. I could come up with 99 reasons that we need to actively come together, us come together and fight they. First of all, who the fuck is us and who the hell are they? Right? So we, the people, need to come together to fight the man, right? Just think about all the ambiguousness in that fucking sentence right there. We, the people. So we, right? Now we talking French. Who the fuck are we? You know what I'm talking about? I never signed up to be down with the we. I don't know who we is. I know about we Nintendo, but I don't know who the fuck we is, right? And we the people. Who's the people? Because the last time I checked when I was down south, they was like, yo, when the people come, nigga, run. So who's the people? You know what I'm talking about? What people is this? We the people need to come together to fight they, because they live. Who the fuck are they? You know what I mean? Give me a name, bro. Who are they? That's confusion. That's confusion. They don't give you no direct names. They still saying they. The white man, the government, this administration, this person or this president, those people are out of our reach. We need to know somebody directly, because when they talking to your black ass nigga, they're saying your mama, the name your mama gave you, the first and your last name. Usually when your ass is on a hot seat, they're saying your fucking name. They'll put your whole face and your name on the news. They're gonna speak to you directly. They're gonna be like, nigga, tag, you're it. But when it comes to us addressing them, it's never really, unless it's somebody who gets arrested, like one of the, like Derek Chauvin, the officer who killed George Floyd, whose 1 year anniversary is tomorrow. Now, we've had conversations about these bookmarks and whatnot. This is a bookmark term that's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow represents the 1 year anniversary of the day that they took that man's life by putting his knee on his neck, allegedly, according to the information that some of you niggas been out here spewing and whatnot. He's not dead. He's in a bunker somewhere watching all of this, right? From the metaverse. That's what some of these scholars, I say that lightly. But a year ago, there was let's just say a year ago, um, there was a shift that took place, because Blue Pill has shown the Schumann resonance, the shit you can't fake, right? You can't go to fucking what they call, you can't go to Craigslist and hire crisis Schumann resonators, right? The heart machine can't manipulate the Schumann resonance, right? You can't hire enough people on Craigslist to come together to manipulate the Schumann resonance. No, that's a natural occurrence. The shit spiked. The fucking sun woke up. The sun woke up a year ago today. Go and do the research, bro. And when the sun woke up, it as above, so below. The people miraculously, right? For all of the people in the world who could have been bucking on that day and whatnot, it just so happened to be niggas rose up in ways that they hadn't rose up in a very long time. Because niggas are always due for a good uprising every now and then. You feel me? And a year ago to this day,
To this day. To this day.
The George Floyd uprisings began. So I want you to analyze, where have we gone as a people a year later? Where are we? Where have we arrived somewhere? If our ship took off that day a year ago, where have we landed? Where have we arrived at? Very interesting. Somebody said Nick Cannon is mad soft. Did you know that birds can fly? So look, this is what we're gonna do though. Because one of the only things that I could really, not the only things, I'm not gonna be facetious and whatnot, but to really mine more answers, I would have to dig a little bit deeper into the storage and in my memory bank and whatnot. But on the surface, one of the things that stand out as a plus and as a pro in this 1 year, right? When we can gauge and measure growth and development over the year, definitely beyond a reasonable doubt, the man of the year would be cryptocurrency. Okay. And when I say cryptocurrency, I don't just mean cryptocurrency as in the coins and whatnot. I mean the ecosystem, the whole goddamn ecosphere. You know, I'm talking NFTs, I'm talking the blockchains, I'm talking the, all of the new lexicon, the lingo, I'm talking the DeFi, I'm talking the DApp, I'm talking about DApps, I'm talking about all of the things that are sprouting out of that mustard seed. Okay, it started on 2008, right? With that white paper on Halloween of all days, when Satoshi came out with that Bitcoin white paper, and this whole thing started right around the same time that the market was dying, the financial market. It took its first death blow then. And now where we're at right now, we're in a very interesting place. And cryptocurrency, the understanding of cryptocurrency, the results that I've seen in real time of people who have actually changed their lives for the better based off of strategic investments and whatnot off of cryptocurrency, the way that our people are learning at a very fast pace about cryptocurrency, about all things crypto, which will one day, we're going to see the miracles of that sprout very soon, right? In our reality, because as black people, we know when our people hop on something, there's an early onboarding, window and whatnot. But once we begin to master something, we begin to master something. All right. It's been proven time after time after time. And when it comes to um especially the part of cryptocurrency that people are equating to gambling, like rolling dice, like betting and whatnot. Oh nah, I'll never count my people out. You know what I'm talking about? I seen them perform in dice games. I seen them perform in casinos. I seen them perform and outperform the best of them. So that's just one aspect of it. But when it comes to these numbers and whatnot, I seen my people perform 100 years ago when they was in Harlem and other places running the numbers game, running it up with a penny and a nickel. You know what I'm talking about? And now we here 100 years later with the pennies and the nickels, and we still doing what it do. You know what I mean? We still running it up like we bumpy in Harlem. Talk black to me. Brother Hafiz, are you there? So now, undeniably, we've broken one of the quote unquote, we've broken out of the trinity of nigga activities about what it is that you want to be in the future, either a rapper, a basketball player, or a motherfucking actor or something. Now you can have children, you know what I mean? You got these babies and whatnot that's gonna touch this real wealth. They're gonna be like, my nigga, I want to be a coder. I want to be a fucking day trader. You know what I mean? Like I want to be a digital nomad. You feel me? I want to be a billionaire by way of crypto investments. Please understand that that conversation is taking place right now. Probably not with some 5 and 6 year olds, but definitely with some 15 and 16 and 17-year olds who are really tapped in, who really tapped in. So you already know, you know, we have, you know, we've been talking this digital evolution. We've been talking about this digital evolution for a minute now. We've been properly preparing the people with proper preparation, preventing piss poor performance. We've been onboarding the family and introducing them to powerful teachers, right? Introducing them to information that was ahead of its time, because consciousness is about awareness. So we've been helping the people become very aware and affording them to know the ledge so they don't fall off, so they don't slip off. The slippage rate is very minimum when you know the ledge. You know what I'm talking about? You know that you don't go motherfucking sliding off of a slippery slope. When you know the ledge, you know that you stop, short of that slope and make sure your ass don't go over it. So in that same tradition, I want to introduce you to a master student. You know what I mean? This brother's been working his magic and doing his due diligence and his research and whatnot. And this is going to be a special guest for our May 27th workshop slash master class, where we're going to be digging super deep and going into all kind of topics dealing with this cryptocurrency in order to empower you with these tools, because this is about utilizing the tools the proper way, the same way few hundred, like not even 100, a few decades ago with the Industrial Revolution and whatnot, where black men and women were known for their tradesman skills and their hands and whatnot. They were able to build communities, the 40 acres and a mule, the Black Wall Street, the rise of these black cities and towns. That came from people, black men and women, who had powerful tools in their toolboxes. So now in these modern days and time, those tools that we have in our toolboxes are not the physical wrench and whatnot or the physical hammer. These are the digital hammers and the digital wrenches and whatnot. But we're making things happen. People are building whole communities in the metaverse. And that translates into the real world as well, if you must know. You know what I mean? So without any further ado, I want to welcome our good brother Hafiz to the platform, and we're gonna chop it up about what we're gonna be building on Thursday. All right. So let me go ahead and open up the brother's line.
Peace, family. This is Hafiz. I'm Hafiz, and I'll be here on Thursday, and we're gonna go over a few topics. The topics I have prepared is first topic is gonna be passive income opportunities in cryptocurrency. There's a lot of passive income opportunities in cryptocurrency. We know a lot of our family, our people is on the yield farming, pancake swap, and all types of opportunities, but there's also mining, we already know, and we also know we have staking. You can establish master nodes. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about getting passive income, and you could combine all three,
Right.
you could combine all of them, and then so there's a lot of opportunities there. I'm
So
gonna speak on
real quick, I don't want to cut your wisdom. I want you to
yeah,
flow and get into your curriculum. But when you say passive income, because I have I have a organization called Stream Chasers,
right.
and the purpose of Stream Chasers is to diversify our portfolio and to tap into the multiple income streams. So you're saying that with three income streams, there's the ability for brothers and sisters to not just have three but have more than them by mixing that up.
Right, you can have more than three. You can have, for example, even you can have multiple within different fields. So let's say you want to establish a master node. You can have a master node of different cryptocurrencies. So let's say I'll explain one Dash, for example. You can set up a master node of Dash. but you can have multiple master nodes of multiple cryptocurrencies. Then you can mine cryptocurrencies at the same time. Then you can have cryptocurrencies that you're yield farming. So you can have them all. Once you get going, you can have them all,
working
powering each other, working for you. They all power each other.
So the proverbial,
yeah,
the proverbial statement that has been said to make your money work for you.
right.
Is this what we're seeing with the rise of digital currencies?
Right. Digital currencies, it helps you. It's like your money works for you times 1,000. Like digital currency, and once you get into it, you start learning about finance quickly. You learn in 6 months. You can learn what people go to school and learn about finance. Like even myself, I'll speak for myself. I learned about providing liquidity and liquidity pools. I didn't even know what that might have. 2 years ago, I might not have even known what that meant. Now I know that, for example, a liquidity pool. Let's say you have Coinbase, for example, or any type of exchange, stock exchange. You have trading pairs, right? So you wanna buy some Bitcoin with a US dollar. That's a pair, and to trade on that pair, you need liquidity. So you need Bitcoin or you need some US dollars in the background. Now, Coinbase, they make money off of providing that liquidity off of the fees.
Right.
Now, with decentralized finance, short, they call it DeFi, you can take the place of Coinbase. You're Coinbase. You can use your cryptocurrency that you earned, whether you bought it or whether you mined it or however you got it. You could provide liquidity for other people to trade in a decentralized manner, and you're getting paid. And your farm, and that's what they call yield farming. That's one aspect of passive income. And then you have the mining, and then you have the staking masternode. So imagine you're mining Ethereum, and Ethereum that you're mining, now you're putting that in a liquidity pool to earn money off of the Ethereum that you mined, that you just you might feel like you created it out of thin air. It's just so much. You can go, once you get going into it, you start slow to build it, but once you get going, it's it's a good thing to it's just a good thing to understand and to get into.
I mean,
and that's just one aspect of life in general. That's just spoken on crypto. That's one aspect of life, but that even gets your mind going. So you look at even the world differently. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I was about to say. That neuroplasticity is the rewiring of our brains. So I'm big on systems,
right?
Because I understand that the world is run by systems, and the people that run the world run powerful systems, and these systems are effective. And one of the things that I'm hearing when you're breaking down these options and whatnot is that if one were to put it together in a proper system, then it would work for them in ways that just not applying it as a system wouldn't, and whatnot.
Right.
You mentioned something about mining, and we've had I've built with you about the whole mining operations. Do you mind to get a little technical and just break down what the mining is and some of the just some of the chips and things of that nature, the machines, the mining machines?
All right, so I'll start from, so first off, what mining is, there's different types of consensus. There's ways of settling transactions. Mining is based off of the proof of work cryptocurrencies.
Right.
So that's Bitcoin. Original cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. That's proof of work. Litecoin, Ethereum is also proof of work. So when you mine, that's having your computer hardware run complex calculations to solve a problem, and that once you solve that problem, that settles the transaction on that network. So for Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, that's what mining is. Right now, the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine is Ethereum. That's the most profitable. It's made in a way that the computers that we have in our homes are able to mine it. Specifically, if it's specifically if it's a gaming computer that has high-power graphic cards. So those are.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what's the industry standard on a graphic card?
So the NVIDIA graphic cards or the AMD graphic cards, either or. So the standard The standard would be for the NVIDIA side. Those would be the RTX 3080s,
Right.
which normally have a stock price. They should have a stock price of about $699. Actually, it's only $700. And with that one card at that stock price, you'll be generating from about 200 to 300 a month. Or if there's a lot of transactions on the network on that particular day or month, you might even get 400 to 500 a month off of a $700 investment at the stock price.
How much could those cards resell? I know the stock price, but what's the resell on those?
Now, as we know, cryptocurrency is booming. Those cards are out of stock everywhere because everybody knows you can make so much money on them. So now they're reselling on eBay for about $2,500. About 2,500.
Right.
Yeah. So even if you're able to find it on a good deal, you might find it for maybe $1,000 in a store. If they restock and they want to sell it to you, they want to be nice to their customers, they might sell it to you for $1,000. So if you could get it for $1,000, that's actually a good deal. If you're making $300 per month, 3 months you pay it off, and then from then you're making profit. So that's on the NVIDIA side. On the AMD side, you have the RX 6800. And that also stock prices similar to what the NVIDIA, but that's also going for about $2,000 as well on eBay, or even more. So, right. NVIDIA is very reliable. Yep. NVIDIA is very reliable. Right. AMD is good too, but NVIDIA is very reliable.
Right. All the gamers know that, and the miners know.
Right.
I just want the people that are out there who don't have knowledge about the intricate, details into this ecosystem. I want them to learn. You know what I mean? I want them to do more research and whatnot.
Right. I mean, for all we know, there could be a lot of people who might have computers, who might have bought a computer. They might not even know their computer might be able to mine, and they might be able to get 200 per month or even more in Ethereum. And then if Ethereum appreciates in value, it might be even worth more, and they might not even know it because they have a very strong graphic card inside their computer. So,
and I've also said that I've shout out to the people that have they live in public housing where they don't pay electricity,
right?
And I've said that you could turn that community room into a straight mining farm. You know what I mean? Instead of taking over your building and turning it into a crack house, you could turn your building into a mining farm.
And it makes a lot of money. It really does. It's once you start stacking those graphic cards, you have one. So if one can get you 200 to 400 to 600 a month, imagine if you have, and 2 graphic cards can fit in the average computer. So each computer, you could think of that as, okay, that's making me 600 a month. Each computer, 600 to 800 a month. Now add exactly. So that's off the charts profit.
Because that's how I'm gonna get it. I'm
right.
It don't make no sense to have 2 of them. I want 200 cards so I could generate as much as I can by the month.
Right.
And we're gonna and I will have that in each state.
Right. See? So
like I wouldn't relegate it to one state. Like I'm in each state with 200 of them things set up.
And that's another thing. So recently we've had people speak on. So now they call this FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right?
Right.
People have spoken on the fear, uncertainty, and doubt with proof of work and Bitcoin mining or Ethereum mining. They're saying, oh, it's centralized in China or whatever. Trying to paint a xenophobic. I mean, I don't have nothing against China. I don't have nothing against Chinese people.
It's the rumors.
You know what I mean?
The
rumors, right?
But we pointed out because China's always been used as a scapegoat.
Right.
From the beginning of it all. Remember, Bitcoin died 300 plus times.
Right.
China's been the culprit many times.
Right. So they're doing that because they know that cryptocurrency gives power to the people. Cryptocurrency they can't really control it, especially the proof of work cryptocurrency. They can't really control it. So they're, throwing their fear tactics. But if they feel it's so centralized in China, imagine if a bunch of people living in America start mining here. Okay, you want control over the network? We can mine over here. We can mine here. Like I can mine, you can mine, we all can mine, right? So what's the problem? Now you don't have to worry about them having control because we got the control over here too. So
that's what I'm saying with Elon. That's the move That was the switcheroo that he just played on China with the
Right,
mining.
right. Right, and you know, some people were fearful maybe the market crashed because of what he said, or maybe he saw the charts and saw that it was going to fall and did a publicity stunt to get some attention on him. Who knows what happened? You know,
Right.
a lot of rumors. So, but you know, that's one aspect that you can use to get some good passive income. Even when
Right.
cryptocurrency fall, or even when the market the market goes up and down. Even when the market is down, it's still good to mine because you're still getting your coins. Once the market recovers, you'll have so much coins and the value of them will be a lot higher than you expected. So, and there's
Right.
always going to be coins to mine. A lot of people are worried that Ethereum, you won't be able to mine on Ethereum, but there's other coins you can mine that will always be. Ethereum Classic is one, but there's more than that. There's a lot of other coins you can mine as well. So, and that's what we'll be speaking on in the class upcoming.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Somebody said that you came right out the gate shooting with the
Oh,
information. They was impressed.
thank you,
You know
thank
what I
you.
mean?
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm a student myself.
I'm a geek. I'm a geek
Yeah,
myself. You know what I mean? I get geeked out about information like this because it's like I'm learning a new language, a new world. You know, but as I learn, you know, I'm earning as well because I'm learning and earning. I'm earning because I'm feeling more enriched, more I'm already feeling leveled up. I'm already feeling, you know, because I'm tapping into potentiality and I'm paying it forward. I'm like, oh nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna let this shit go. You know what I mean? Like I ain't gonna drop this, you know. I'm gonna keep pushing this because this is what the people need. You know, this is what they need. Like this is something that they can utilize to it's not about get rich quick. It's not about, you know, because we've had these conversations before and I've shared to them the difference between an investor and a trader, you know. Um, and me and you've had conversations where we talked about what income streams, you know, how income streams could benefit people who are into the crypto market because if you have multiple income streams and you have a way to feed yourself and a way that you know you have an income stream to feed you, you have an income stream that pays your bills and whatnot, then the other income stream that you would be putting into crypto could be something that you don't always have to worry about.
right, right. So, see, for example,
Right.
everybody in crypto, we experienced that little pullback.
Yeah.
So if you very reliant on the crypto, it might be a little hard. No matter who it is, if you see a portfolio go in half, you're gonna be like, ah. But if you have a lot of income streams, if you have a lot of ways to make money, even if you see the pullback, you still will, be versatile. You'll be able to buy the dip. You know what I mean? They tell you buy the dip, buy the dip.
Yeah.
Well, what money, if you use all your money, you know what I mean? But if you have more income streams than you can support, you just won't be feeling so, caught off guard if something like that happens. So,
Right.
because we already know the best way to make money in crypto, the end game is holding it for the long haul. Even though you want to sell at the top,
Right.
you look at the people who had Bitcoin back in 2010 to now, they're the ones who win. If you go hold for 10 years, 5 years, and that's not even a lot of time,
Right.
you already set.
But
So
but you see, yeah, because
it's
like
the
you said,
stamina.
it's the stamina, and you see the standard, right?
Right,
You see the example. The people who sold can't talk.
yeah,
They're not the ones out there talking on the stadium on the podium. It's the ones who hold the diamond
right,
hands. They
right, fact,
become the whales.
right. And that's the key to become a whale. And you don't even know random cryptocurrencies you think might not have value come in 5 years later, it's like, whoa, this one actually shot up in value. So
Right.
that's another thing. Sometimes you might want to trade a cryptocurrency for the next one, thinking, okay, this one's better, this one's better. But then you look back, it's like, wow, I might have been better off not even. Who know? It's a
Right.
lot of ways to play it, but maybe that you didn't expect that one to grow the way it did.
Right. That shit happened to me too.
Right. It's like
Damn.
exponential. They all have potentially exponential growth. So you might be trading for 2x, 5x,
Right.
but how you gonna trade something that has unseen potential, unseen exponential growth? Then it's like, you know, so
Right.
so there's a lot of ways to go about it, but you know, yeah.
Indeed, indeed. So I want to know, there's been a lot of talk about centralized and decentralized platform. The majority of the people that come to me, they want to know, where do I start? Like, what's the perfect place to go to buy coin? You know what I mean? Like, they want to know.
Right.
They hear about Coinbase and they hear about Binance, but then when they get to Binance, some people get confused because of the Binance token and all these other things. So is there a way for people to, is there like a learning curve to help people uh kind of understand this stuff a little bit more?
There's a learning curve, but it's a learning curve, but once it's not too hard in that basically the learning curve is being able to being able to have ownership of your cryptocurrency and
Right.
understanding how to send it from one wallet to the next. Once you know how to send it from one wallet to the next, and once you're doing that comfortably, then everything else should fall into place. So it's and you have to, if you're investing in cryptocurrency, first off, you need to use a platform that lets you send it. So it's even some people in the cryptocurrency that might be on Robinhood, and
Right.
they know they own Bitcoin, they know they own a bunch of Doge, but they don't realize,
In
oh,
it.
you can't even send anything on that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So they can't even deal in it. Whereas with Coinbase, you know, that's a good place where I started cryptocurrency by mining, but I
Right.
started investing off of Coinbase. That's where I started investing in the cryptocurrency off of
Right.
Coinbase.
Me as well.
So that's Coinbase lets you send, send from one wallet to the next. So once you on
And you can
Coinbase,
swap too.
you could, yeah, and you could swap, you could trade your coins.
Yeah, it's
So
good.
once you're on Coinbase, that gives you a little more control over your coins. But the key is getting your coins into a self-custody wallet where you can read your private keys and where you own your private keys.
Right.
Once you have it on and it's a few platforms that let you do it. There's Atomic Wallet. That's one platform. That's one that I like to use. And once you have it, then you can access your private keys. And once you have your private keys, even if Atomic Wallet goes away, if you wrote down the actual key, and Atomic Wallet lets you see the key for each coin that you have, if you wrote down the actual key, you can actually directly access all of your cryptocurrencies on the actual network of that cryptocurrency. So if I have my Bitcoin private key, then I can access Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin exists, I can access my Bitcoin. So
Right.
that's the key to it. And that's what makes it so powerful, in that they can't just censor your Bitcoin account like how they
Right.
can censor your bank account, So
Right.
that's why it's so that's the revolution in it. Whether the price goes up and down, it gives you a certain level of freedom. So
Right. 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 And that's
yeah,
what them people is upset about. I mean,
right,
make no mistake about it. I already know what it is. Like,
yeah.
they are furious. They are
And
fucking
that's
furious.
where all the fear tactics come
But
in. You can't
yeah,
even
but
sometimes you can't even listen to the news because
can't listen to the
one day
news.
they're up, next day they're down. Like, oh,
Has
cryptocurrency
the
is bad. Oh,
news
crypto.
ever think about it? Has anybody ever say, "Yo, I need to give that newscaster extra $100 because boy, did their tips make me rich."
No,
You don't see people lined up outside the news agencies with tip jars saying,
right,
"Yo, the last night the news helped me out because boy, when I listened to what they said, my pockets got no. The opposite happens. So the news is not your friend,
right.
right?
The news it's a scare tactic. The news wants you
It's news.
to
It's the
to
catch
fall into the system. Be a peg in a system. Be a 9 to 5 worker.
Ponzi.
And I'm a 9 to 5 worker. I'm not, no disrespect to all 9 to 5 workers.
Right,
I'm a 9 to 5 worker trying to become my own worker. You know what I mean? Trying to
right.
grow out of that. But yeah,
Yeah, we
that's the
working.
news will keep
We gonna
you.
work on that.
Yeah, we working on it.
Yeah, we gonna work that out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So uh I'm gonna let you continue flowing because I had
Oh, okay.
interrupted you. You was in your
Oh,
bag.
no problem. So yeah, that's just one aspect. So that's the mining. Then there's the master nodes.
Right.
being able to set up masternodes. So
Yeah, that masternode talk is heavy.
yeah,
That's Aquarius Maximus. With
there's a few
coin.
cryptocurrencies.
Right.
Guap coin, fact that Guap coin. That's I don't have any Guap coin yet. I'm gonna get some Guap coin. That's a low key sleeper that we shouldn't sleep on, because you can establish a master node for Guap coin, and you can establish it at a relatively low price, and that's a good thing, because when you can establish a master node at a low price, you can profit greatly in the future. And crypto moves so fast. The future is like 3 years. Like, it's not even a long time that you have to wait. For example, Dash is an example. Like I mentioned earlier, people were able to establish masternodes with Dash when it came out from a few hundred to a few $1,000. Investing in Dash, had 1,000 Dash, you have a masternode. Now if you check the price of Dash right now, 1,000 Dash is $200. So $200 for each Dash coin times 1,000, that's $200,000 for that masternode. So you paid a few $100s when it first came out. Now it's worth a few $100,000, and it's making you 6 to 12% per year. So you're getting 12,000 to 20,000 per year off of a masternode, off of a small investment. That's a great thing. So imagine if we hop on the Guap, establish the masternode. I feel like that's a very great opportunity potentially.
Definitely.
Yeah, and another thing, I'll speak on the Guap again. The percentage rate for the Guap masternode is very high. Actually, it's very high. It's not 10%. It's above 100%. You can double, triple your coins once you invest in a Guap masternode per year. So that's why that's another great opportunity in my opinion.
Okay.
So that's a little, that's another opportunity. And so that's one of the topics I'm going to speak on. Another topic is I'm going to speak on the financial system and how things that are being planned, how to integrate cryptocurrency and certain cryptocurrencies that will be integrated once with the new financial system that's going to be put in place. Because as we all know, the financial system we're dealing with right now is slow. If you want to get your paycheck, or you want to send a paycheck somewhere, or you want to do a wire transfer, what do they say? 3 to 5 business days, 5 to 7 business days. But a lot of cryptos are instant. XRP, for example, is an instant cryptocurrency. It's cryptocurrency transfers in 3 to 5 seconds. So that's one that's known for, that's going to be the backbone of the new financial system. But there's a lot of others, Stellar is another one. Algorand is another one. And there's a lot of others actually. There's not gonna be one cryptocurrency that's gonna be the basis of the new financial system. There's gonna be multiple, and they're gonna be working together. It's gonna be interoperable. So that's what I'm gonna speak on. I even have documents. I have documents to show the family. I have documents to share with the family that will tip us to what to keep on the radar as these systems are built, and there's massive potential if we stay on it.
Because with so many coins that are in this ecosphere,
it
usually could become a little bit challenging to keep up. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like,
that's a fact.
You could go broke keeping up with all of these.
That's a fact. Coins. You can't invest in everything, so you gotta have. You gotta have the keys. You have to have you gotta have a few key cryptocurrencies, and even if you want to have your portfolio diversified, maybe have a couple types. So that's another thing I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna go into the types of cryptocurrencies. We got cryptocurrencies that's used for payments. That digital. You can kind of call those digital cash. Dash short for digital cash. That's one. You got Digibyte. You got a few digital cash currencies. You got the privacy coins like Monero. You got the XR. You got the ones that's going to be used for the banking infrastructure like XRP. You got Stellar. And a few others. Then you have kind of like cryptocurrencies where you can build applications on, like Ethereum. Those are like smart contract platforms. You
Right,
know,
right,
you can
right.
build applications on. There's so many, but if you could pinpoint, maybe even 10 to 5, you know, it's hard, especially once you learn about so many cryptocurrencies. It's like hundreds of them that are, and they're all valuable. So,
I'm like,
but
start
you
with
could,
20.
it's so many. If
Yeah, I try. Well, I don't mean to cut you, but last night,
yeah,
yesterday, when the market was on sale, I narrowed it down to 10.
right,
I blew a few racks on 10 specifically. I narrowed it down to 10, and I was like, these are the 10 that I'm going with.
right,
Everything was on sale. Everything was I feel like yesterday was, think about this, family. I'm painting a picture. There's a Black Friday for billionaires and millionaires. I'm talking about yacht owners, big boys, tycoons. I'm talking about robber barons, like leaders of industry. A Black Friday for them, where the cryptocurrency that they wasn't able to get in on a few months ago before the hype, they were given they were given a clearance sale, right?
mm,
A 24-hour window. It will not be, this clearance sale will not go on. This sample sale will not be on, but for 2 days.
mm,
Get in and get as much as you can. This is the motherfucking Toys R Us shopping spree. And that's what they went in with yesterday and the day before when the market tanked. It tanked a few days before that. But the prices the shit was yesterday, that was a Barney's fucking clearance sample sale where they was giving up Gucci suits for 60% off, Louis boots for $20. And then people came in there and cleaned up. I was looking at the market. I was looking at the charts. Everything was buy, 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 buy. It was buying nonstop, bro. And I'm talking about big purchases.
mm.
So
Yeah, I think, yeah, you know, like the prices, sometimes the way I judge the prices, I go for timeline. So I think, all right, what's the price of this particular coin at this period of time? I think in March 2020, when the pandemic hit, that's when most of these cryptocurrencies were at like the lowest that they would ever be. And that crash a few days ago put some of those cryptocurrencies kind of close to that price range. So it's
to
like,
that mark, right?
right. So it's like at that point, it's like, wow. I mean, if it's as low as when that happened, then it's like it's almost like, even though people are fearful, it's like it's almost like everything's a risk, but it's almost like it's no risk, you know,
Right.
because it's so low. So maybe that's like you said, like maybe that was a situation where, you know, certain people, crypto popped off so fast they wanted to get in
Right.
at the prices that they want to get in. You know,
Right. How could
I
it?
want to spend my $1,000,000. I don't want
Right.
to spend it on a $60,000 Bitcoin and get
Right.
only 17 of them. I want more than that. I want at least 100 or get close to that. You know, that's what they thinking. You know,
So
like you said. So
it's not a risk when you're buying it at basement prices.
right,
You're not losing anything. It's not a risk. I bought it at 50, I bought it at 60% off. Unless it dies tonight and never goes back up again, I win.
right,
Anything that you buy that's under 50, you're gonna win. It's going to go back up. It's
right,
impossible that it's not. If it's not gonna go back up this year, it's damn sure gonna go back up one of these years.
right.
I'm sitting on
Eventually.
I'm sitting on Kodak stock, my nigga. Do you know Kodak, the
Mm,
company with the cameras?
mm,
They was popping for like one day and then it stopped. But I'm like, yo, one day it's gonna pop. They're gonna come out with something. I got faith. I'm
mm.
just holding it. But
It got too
it
much utility to just disappear. Like,
has too much utility.
so
And that's why I'm glad that we're breaking that down into categories so we could explain what these coins are. So when people keep hearing new coin, new coin, new coin, it's like trying to keep up with Jordans and these new Nike releases. And nigga, it's
yeah,
too much.
yeah,
Too much.
it's a
But
lot. Like,
yeah, but because some
um,
people don't know the difference. They don't know what a SB dunk is. They don't know what a Jordan brand is. You know what I mean? So
Right.
once you begin to categorize things and give it its personality and begin to give it a description so people know what a utility coin is, you know what I mean? They'll approach it differently. Somebody asked a question that I wanted you to answer.
Right.
Ethereum is moving to proof of stake in a few months. Does it still make sense to purchase a graphic card?
I think it still makes sense if you get the graphic card. I would say it doesn't make sense to buy any graphic card way overpriced. I don't care what time it is. Even if you're a miner, I don't think it's like, for example, like I said, the RTX 3080, which is selling on eBay for like 2,500, even 3,000. I don't think it ever makes sense to buy a graphic card that overpriced. I think like if you want to get into mining, either find it, even if you want to pay like let's say the stock price is 700. Even if you want to pay 400 more, like maybe 1,000, 1,100 more for it, 1,200, then cool. But I don't think it's ever worth it to pay overpriced. Now, if you buying it at stock price and you want to mine, even though Ethereum is going to proof of stake, I still think it's worth mining because there's other coins you can mine. For example, Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum based. Right. It's the original Ethereum, and it's always going to be mineable. So that's one option. Another option is Raven Coin. You can mine that. It's always going to be other coins to mine, and
right.
So I think mining is always valuable, and that's one thing that I don't regret it. I used to mine in 2013. Litecoin was actually mineable on graphics card back then. I mined a whole Litecoin, right. But the problem is my computer back then. If you were to mine on your computer back then, the computer becomes unusable. I wasn't even able to use a computer. I couldn't type on it. I couldn't, I wanted to play games. I couldn't play games on it. I couldn't do computer work on it.
Right.
So I couldn't. Now you can actually use a computer and mine, and it's not. You won't even notice as mining. So it's different now. But back then, I was able to mine a whole Litecoin. It only took me 2 weeks to mine a whole Litecoin. Wow. So if I would have been mining since then I might have been able to stack up a lot of Litecoins. Right. Maybe if I would have got a second computer and just started mining Litecoins, but I also wasn't really financially equipped for that, and cryptocurrency was new. So, I didn't really, I believed in cryptocurrency, but I didn't know where it could go. So
potential.
But,
right.
But now that I know mining is always profitable, but mining is always something to do. Mining is always something to stick with. If you're a miner, keep mining. If cryptocurrency crashes tomorrow, keep mining, because you're going to be mining up coins. You're going to become what you want to become. Like they say, you want to be a whale, right? So that's how you become a whale, by mining during the bear market. You mine these coins up. You get thousands of Raven. You get as many Ethereum Classics as you can. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ethereum might go to proof of stake, but there's always going to be another cryptocurrency to mine. There's even privacy coins that you can mine on your graphics card and on your CPU. Monero, you can mine it on your CPU. Pharaoh, that's when you can mine on your graphics card. And privacy is a utility that's always going to be valuable. People always going to want privacy. So it's just a lot. It's just mining is something that you should always, I think if you're a miner, keep mining. So it's something to get into, Definitely. I also want to say you don't rush into mining. What you do, just like how you build a business or you build anything, you start with the first one. Once you get your profits up, you roll into the second one. And then over time, the mining is going to fund you being able to buy more coins.
Right.
So, so you scale into it. So I think mining is always profitable. And when you want to start doing it, you scale into it, and then you should be, good as long as you just keep doing it. So
you mean I could drive my Uber?
Yeah.
And do my Uber Eats, my DoorDash dropper.
Right.
I could be a Lyft driver.
Right.
And my computer at home is cooking up pots for me.
Right. You'll be mining. You could be driving. You could be taking a vacation in Hawaii, and your computer is going to be making more Ethereum for you. Or if not Ethereum Classic or whatever other coin. You could be sleeping and you're making more cryptos.
And I can have my basement set up like how dudes be having how dudes got the indoor weed farms.
Right.
The super operation with the fans blowing and everything.
Right. You just have a bunch of computers
so
in there working for you.
In my rent-free spot that I got. I mean, not rent-free, in my utility free spot where I don't pay electric. I can
Right.
have the whole basement hooked up with because I'm looking at 20 different GPUs. You're saying that that's possible?
Yes, definitely. It's certainly possible, very possible, and it's not
Okay.
even hard once you know how to set one computer up. It's not even hard. Like it's possible. It's not hard. And another thing, it's not harming anybody. Like nobody
Right.
could stress you. Nobody could come at you. Oh, what are you doing, nigga? You just on my computer. I'm processing transactions on the network. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they can't even come after you. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I feel like it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And once we start getting onto this, and once we start getting onto all these opportunities, it's the sky's the limit for us. You know? So
Right. Right.
it's a lot of opportunities out here.
No doubt. No doubt. I feel
Word.
richer. I feel wealthier already. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm really sitting here and I'm going in my mind, how many different streams can overlap each other and really kind of work and automate, like you said, in a recurring way where it's just automated, because that's the
Right.
key to leveling up, is when you have your money working for you and it's in an automated it's really like you're getting money in your sleep, the recurring aspect. And yeah, that residual, that is something that we need. You know what I mean? That is something that we need to tap into. These are some streams that we really, really could explore coming into the summertime and leading into next year. You know. So
So yeah.
yeah, leaving with one more thing, and then I think we're gonna wrap it up, because what I don't want to do is, I don't want to I don't want to be here too long. This is a lot of information. I want the family to be able to get this and do some research, do some following up.
Right.
Build your confidence with your research. That's what research does. It gives you legs to stand on, you know what I mean? And it helps you with your breakthroughs. When we do these shows and we bring this information and we throw it out there like that, these are gemstones, not just to step over. These not pearls to just look at and whatnot. You're supposed to put those around your neck and go, and go hunt for the diamonds and whatnot. You know what I mean? These are nuggets. These are golden nuggets. These are tools that you use to break through the wall, or break through the barriers, or break through the door and get more information, more gems. You know what I mean? More riches and whatnot. And I promise you, take it from me personally, the more enlightened you become over this topic, the more you will be rewarded. You know what I'm talking about? Promise you that part.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of shit going on around us, and we don't be knowing. I don't want to get off a subject, but I remember one of my biggest pet peeves last year, dealing with the whole George Floyd situation, and my spirit kept telling me to say to the people was, hold on a 1 minute. You know what I mean? There's a
Mm.
problem with all of this congregating that I'm seeing taking place, because I see people who are claiming to be our allies who look like Google programmers. You know what I mean? These people look like
Mm.
they're Silicon Valley, and I see our people and I see them together. But when they leave, I don't see, and I don't hear any crypto talk.
Right.
They never mentioned the word blockchain.
Right.
They never mentioned the word altcoin. They never mentioned smart contract. They never mentioned we're gonna give you some type of cryptocurrency payments. They never said we're gonna onboard you to this new world. They never mentioned metaverse. None of these conversations came up amongst people who are they are collecting. They were collecting the coins last year. They knew about this new world last year. They were hip to this new world last year. But our people with all of the, we're gonna look out for you.
Right. Fact.
All of the, you know what I mean, with all of the,
That
the
was the best time to accumulate last year too. But
it was the greatest
we
time.
don't get the 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 life changing or as far as
Listen,
business goes, we don't get the knowledge. You know what I mean? Or they don't, or the knowledge isn't always shared with us. As
right?
far as business goes, and
As
when it's
far
other stuff,
exactly,
they want to share. People won't.
they're gonna
We
share your
the people to
pain and
share with.
trauma. They're gonna cry
Yeah.
with you. They're gonna sob with you while they eat your energy. They're gonna do all of that. They're gonna cry you a river. But they will never give you the insider tips that's gonna really change your life. And that right there was the deal breaker for me because I said, look, based off of that alone, and I'm knowing where the market is, and I'm knowing what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm knowing about this new economy, and I know that I don't hear them having that conversation. I know automatically that it can't be real. It cannot be real because in the real world, there's people that are becoming whales off of this crypto shit. There's a whole
Right.
new world taking place. There's a blockchain that's being built. There's smart contracts that are being coded and whatnot. And when they get enough Negroes in one room together, they don't mention that. And black people is complaining and whining about being have-nots. So I'm like, oh nah, they rocking our people to sleep once again. And
Right.
here we are a year later because tomorrow makes 1 year to the anniversary to when our people made they made a declaration to the universe that they were ready to change. It's bigger than George Floyd. You know what I'm talking about? And it's bigger than some I call them the theys. I don't even know who they are, to be honest with you. The theys, but it's bigger than theys, and it's bigger than that man who lost his life. It's really a contract and a covenant that the people really have with themselves, to be honest with you. They owe themselves to do better, you know?
Right.
So here we are a year later. Opportunity has presented itself in ways that it did not really, even if it existed, it was hiding a year ago. It wasn't there for us. Like you said, if we threw $1 million on XRP, if we threw $1 million on Bitcoin just last year, if we threw 1 million on Ethereum, where would
As a
we be
group, imagine,
as a
because
group?
if enough of us could come together as a group and do something like that, that would be, that would be,
What do you mean? We come together and throw money at everything
and
else.
that's true. Like even on a local level, as families, we can invest as a group. As friends and families, we invest as a group. You don't got to think that, oh, I'm doing it alone. Like, dang, I want to buy the dip. I want to buy a dip, but I'm kind of tapped out. Well, we come together as a family, and not in crypto, we can invest as a group, but even that goes into group economics as well. We can build business. Build businesses as a group.
I'm gonna
Housing.
roll out.
We could do everything as a group, but that's
Yeah,
just crypto is another thing. We could do that as a group, and then it can pay off. So
I got a formula that I'm putting together. I'm gonna roll it out on Thursday. One of many formulas is really an algorithm. I'm a hacker.
right,
I'm a hacker. As Red Pill, I'm a hacker. I hack things. I solve problems. You know what I mean? I come up with solutions. I'm a hacker. I hack problems. So I'm hacking the problem and I'm coming with a solution. It's not the only solution because I'm surrounded. I'm in a hackathon. You know what I mean? The conscious community theoretically, function as hackathons. It's just not called that. They don't fall under certain type of, properties of a hackathon. But to be honest with you, we're all brain hacking.
right,
We're all brain hacking.
right.
So,
It's we all hacking. Like even you do the
yeah.
calculations. Like, oh, how much of this coin do I gotta have if it hits this price point? Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have what? You know what I
That's
mean? That's
right.
what we
We're
doing all
mining.
day.
Niggas is looking for cheat codes. We're mining because you got to mine into your mind. We're going
Right,
into the crevices. We're data mining and we're crypto mining into our minds, but we're also hacking
right,
and coding at the same time. So we're still developers because you can't tell me that you're not developing your reality, especially when you're dealing with the forex, with these crypto markets, with these graphs and whatnot, and you see how all of these things go. You'll tap into the esotericness of it all, and then you'll realize, you know what? I see a pattern.
right,
And when I see a pattern, then I'm able to manipulate and I'm able to tap in. So
right,
we're really just searching for patterns. We're deep diving and we're really examining this thing to the point where we pay enough attention to it, the patterns will be found.
right. And once you got the pattern locked, it's like you just make the decision, get on board, and then jump off when you're ready.
Right, it's a cheat code, like how
These
you had a
even the cryptocurrencies, they move in patterns. Like it's like you see all of the. It's like they
we
all move in the same wave. Like some move in this
right.
wave, some move in that wave. It's like wow. So these two cryptocurrencies really moved up the same way. They dropped the same way. Like this is just this is the algorithm I'm trying to ride right now. Like you know what I mean.
Right.
Even though they all got their functions, it's like all right. I just see. Let me ride this wave, ride it, and if you already recognize a pattern, you could get off of it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like yeah,
Right. So
Debt and Kin basically like those are two cryptocurrencies I noticed that with like Debt Kin. They both moved up. They moved up in like a triangular pattern. So
right,
it's
definitely.
but
Somebody
yeah,
said get the electric mining and projects. It's monopoly time.
right.
This is Monopoly 2.0. Like we are now in Web 3.0. That's another thing that doesn't go mentioned enough. And if that was to be explained in more detail, then the people will I would think the people will understand that none of this is a mistake. This is not these young white kids creating something that their parents know nothing about. Most of them are being funded by their parents. That's how the majority of these platforms are being built. They're going through angel investors and funding. It's all part of a plan. And I'm not being nefarious. This is not a nefarious plan. This is a business plan. And the business plan is Web 3.0 and Internet of all things. This has been planned and put together. The white paper on that has been out for many, many years. And with cryptocurrency and the blockchain and all of these things, it's proof of stake. It's proof of work. It's the proof that there's a Web 3.0. That's the
Mm,
proof. The proof is instead of being on the www.com, Web 2.0, where it's social media based and things of that nature, we're moving into spatial, we're moving into augmented, we're moving into immersive, and we're going into a new world of digital currencies and things of that nature. Ready Player One type shit, you know what I mean? So that's a little bit later on, but right now, this is Web 3. This is the earliest stages of Web 3.0. So welcome to the future, you know.
fact.
Welcome to the future. So we don't have to waste time trying to contemplate where we are in the time space continuum. We're in the future, theoretically speaking, just based off of certain things. So we have to act as such, and as visionaries, we should be thinking futuristic at this point, very futuristic, 100 years ahead, 50 years ahead. One of the benefits of having multiple income streams and dealing with this new money matrix, they just call Bitcoin an asset today. They just it's coming down from Goldman Sachs, which means something in the financial world. They just called it an asset, right? So in this new world where digital assets and other things are the new norm, you know, we have to definitely treat it as such. We have to take full advantage of that. We have to teach our children, especially, what that means. And those of us who have the opportunity to open up multiple income streams, you know, we have to be able to plan 100 years ahead and 50 years ahead.
Right.
And on Thursday's class, we're gonna break down some of the coins that we recommend that we hold as investments, right? Versus
Right.
the coins that we may be picking up that are not necessarily investments. There's multiple uses for them, and we'll speak on that. But like we were saying earlier, we see the 10-year case study as to what Bitcoin has done in 10 years along with other coins. So we know the power of the hold and the power of the yield and whatnot. So if we could think collectively and say, yo, we're gonna start buying up crypto for the babies because in 50 years, these assets are going to really mean something. In 50 years, we're going to be able to completely, collectively really benefit off of the things that we've been doing by holding on to these assets.
Right. It's about the future, about our generations. That's what it's about.
Right. Indeed. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, my good brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I know it's mad late. I had you up very late.
Oh,
Uh
it's all good. I'm happy to, I'm
yes,
happy
yes,
to be on a platform. I'm happy to speak
that's
to the
right.
people.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
I appreciate your time and whatnot. Which you got a cash app?
Oh yeah. My cash app is $ Hafiz 93, spelled HAFIZ 93, $ Hafiz 93.
Got you. Put that up there. Y'all do me the favor, y'all, because it's 3 a.m. where we at. Take care of this young king right here. You know what I mean? And encourage him. Show him how we show love over here on Know the Ledge. You know what I mean? The people over here are very generous and they take care of their scholars. You know what I mean? And I want y'all to take care of the brother. Like he said, he's a 9 to 5er. He's up at 3 a.m. teaching, doing the research. He's going very heavy and very hard to prepare for this workshop that we're doing on Thursday. We've been working behind the scenes very intricately, and he's even showed me a lot of the stuff that he has. And I'm telling you, son is going very deep. He's dedicating a lot of time and energy. And to be honest with you, I want to get him out of the plantation. You know what I mean? Because I feel that his expertise and his mind and the things that he already brings to the table is something that you can't put an hourly rate on. You know what I'm talking about? So like I said, if we a community, we need to start acting like one. All right. But yeah, that's his cash app right there, and that's my cash app right there. And the link for the class is in the description, as a matter of fact. And I put it on the screen real quick if you want to go to Eventbrite. This is the actual ticker right here. The accurate, with breakdown. The evolution will be digitized. .eventbrite.com. You dig? So yeah, check it out.
I appreciate everything. I appreciate my time on the platform, and it was great speaking to everybody.
Oh, for sure, King. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see you on Thursday. We're gonna really turn up and deliver this information, and we'll be back. We'll do something like this. Like I said, we'll be launching a whole new channel called Know the Ledger, and we got some things coming up. You know what I mean? We'll make sure that you good.
All right.
So yeah,
Thank you. Peace.
throw that up again. There you go. Hafiz 93, y'all. Y'all take care of the young God. All right. And we will see y'all on Thursday for our workshop. All right. That will be on Zoom only. You'll get the link the day of the workshop and you'll pull up to class and we're going to turn up. All right. So, with that being said, love and light to the fam, lamb. We're going to leave y'all with some music. And yeah, we'll catch up with you. Peace.
Hustle 10 summers, 10 winters. Never gonna stop winning. Hustle 10 summers, 10 winters. You know we got it out the mud. You know we keep our pockets stuffed. They don't wanna see us winning. Hustle 10 summers, 10 winters. We used to hit the gym and train together. We used to spit the gems on the train together. Early 90s, reign of terror. From the era of the pain and pleasure, the chain and leathers. Gotham City, Bruce Wayne vendettas. Southern California, it never rained forever. Now we change the weather, sitting first class on them planes forever. Taking pleasure in the same endeavors. We make it rain forever. Wearing chains out the treasure found in ancient deserts. Kings County very own, though we ain't no peasants. Nah.
You know we got it out the mud. You know we keep our pockets stuffed. They don't wanna see us winning. Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins.
I monetize my thoughts. I seen too many traumatized in court. Where homicides were fought. They benching the ballers who personify the sport. The henchmen the taller, like the samurais were taught. 32 degrees to live and die in the Jubilees. Neck cold cause the jewelry freeze. 32 degrees. You can feel it in the air, yeah, it's through the breeze. Like it's nudity. We are not the same. Separation 32 degrees.
Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins. Haters paying no attention. We never gonna stop winning. Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins. You know we got it out the mud. You know we keep our pockets stuffed. They don't wanna see us winning. Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins.
I live in the now. You live in the no. I live in the sun. You live in the snow. My bitches is poison, Belle, Vivin, DeVoe. They snatching them souls, attached to the pole, adapt to the cold or capture a cold. The valley of death where the masses have fell, where the ratchets are blow. They casting them spells. Bitch, you could bask in the smell. I'm from where the casters to dwell. I'm from where the baskets can tell where you casting the spell. So you blink your emotions, we mastered it well.
Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins. Haters paying no attention. We never gonna stop winning. Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins. You know we got it out. You know we keep our pockets stuffed. They don't wanna see us winning. Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins. Hustle 10 summers, 10 wins. Haters paying no attention. We never gonna stop winning. Hustle 10 summers.